Leo, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Leo love reading. Today we are going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. Let's get one card for what's the mutual point of interest. Okay, easy enough. What's going on with you, Leo? It's been a minute. What's going on with Leo as it relates to their romantic person of interest and the connection between them? Making me dig for it, huh? I see that's what I get for being away for so long, I guess. I was not feeling well at all. Turns out it wasn't something unexplainable. Our furnace was leaking carbon monoxide and it was not good. It was poisoning me. So got that taken care of. Thankfully it's warmed up and we don't need the furnace right now. So I'm feeling 100% better, so hopefully we can keep this train rolling here. What's going on with your person, Leo? What's going on with Leo's person? Okay. That was weird and clunky feeling. Wonder if that means anything about your person. It looks like it might. Okay, let's see here. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading. There we go, some Leo energy. King of Wands, that's the overall energy. This is Leo. This is bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows exactly what they want. Not usually the dude who's going to take no for an answer. Not usually going to let roadblocks and obstacles get in his way. This is that kind of an energy where I'm either going to find a way to get what I want or I'm going to make a way to get what I want. Very driven, motivated, ambitious, determined kind of an energy. It is also the pinnacle of the wand suit, and the wand is the phallic symbol of the deck. It represents passion, desire, sexual energy, drive, that kind of stuff. So this is not just someone who's driven and motivated in the normal sense. A lot of times this will be somebody who's also very driven by passion and desire and that kind of fun stuff. Right below the surface of that, I've got the Sun, which is the Leo Major Arcana card. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, bliss, harmony. Really hard to get a better card than that in a relationship reading when that's what it's talking about. And there's spots out here that make me wonder if that's really what it's talking about or not, especially in their energy. The other thing the Sun can represent is illumination. This is the card that comes immediately after the moon in the sequence of the major arcana. So when the moon's out and it's dark outside, that can represent something is hidden in the dark. It can represent something is going on that you can't see yet. It can represent something is hidden from you or there's a secret being kept. And the next step is the sun. And when the sun comes up, it ain't dark anymore. The light gets shined on something and it gets exposed. It gets illuminated. You can see it for what it is. So sometimes this can represent illumination and exposure. When I've got King of Wands and the Sun right back to back, that's a whole lot of your energy. But this is also probably someone who has a lot of happiness tied to going after what they want, or a lot of happiness tied to the passion, desire end of things. I do have Four of Swords right behind it. This is Libra energy. Fours are stability, and swords are about the mind, the thoughts. So this can be stability of the thinking, stability of the mind, like trying to calm the mind down, trying to like choose to go inside and calm down about something, trying to go inside and heal something, trying to go inside and figure something out. So that's the gist of what it looks like this is going to talk to us about here. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in some way. It doesn't always affect you the same way. Sometimes they do this and you feel the consequences, or vice versa. Sometimes they'll say or do something and it makes you feel or act this way, or vice versa. Sometimes it's legitimately some external thing that's affecting you both. But that shared energy is the Queen of Cups. This is Cancer energy. This is someone who has a lot of love and emotions that they want to give. It's the most intuitive queen. She's very in touch with her emotions, very in touch with her intuition. In a standard Rider-Waite deck, like I'm going to use to clarify with, she's the only character that has a lid on top of her cup, and she does that as a way to protect her emotions from getting contaminated. She doesn't want to let anything get in her emotions and mess her up emotionally. Usually that indicates that someone has been hurt previously and they're a little guarded and a little hesitant. Now what she really wants to do is take that lid off and pour her love into someone, she just, like I said, has to be guarded. So this could represent that you have a lot of love and emotions for your person. I guess this could even represent that you view them as very attractive, charming, good looking, charismatic. We do have kind of a little bit of a mismatch here, not both the same suit. So let me clarify this Queen of Cups and see what this is trying to tell you here. Well, we're taking it this way. I guess that way. Thanks. Let's get one more here. Okay. Well, very, very odd. Below the surface of this Queen of Cups, we get the Queen of Swords. So, okay, I'm not getting ahead of myself. This is more Libra energy. I call her she who knows the truth. She's about discernment. She's about facing the truth, speaking the truth, and then cutting off a thing or a person that isn't in her best interest anymore. You can see she's got her head above the clouds. She can see clearly what's going on. She's also got her hand held out. And she does that because she's fair and she's offering someone the chance to speak their truth, to tell their side of the story. The problem with her is she already knows the truth. So whenever they tell her a story that doesn't match the truth she already knows, she cuts their head off. This is the I'm not taking any BS. This is the I'm calling you out on your BS and I'm going to do some severing here. I get this a lot when we've had a discussion, so to speak, and it's probably not been a pleasant discussion where things kind of get called out and truth gets spoken, sometimes in a cutting way. Behind that, below the surface of that, I've got the Eight of Wands. This is Sagittarius energy. This is the second fastest energy in the deck. It's rapid back and forth, passionate communications happening. It can be rapid forward movement or progress on something there's a lot of passion and desire for. I got that King of Wands as the overall energy here. There's a whole lot of wands here. Whole lot of either movement or communication related to passion and desire. This can indicate travel sometimes. This is also sometimes a sign that something is happening like all at once. Like if something's come out of left field, too much is happening all at the same time. This can be like a really overwhelming feeling here. Then I got that Four of Swords again. That's twice I've seen that now. I'm using 2 decks and I've seen it. It's even 3 cards deep in both decks here. Libra energy, it's about trying to stabilize the mind, trying to calm the mind down, trying to figure out what to do about something or heal something. And this is more looking like figuring out what to do to me. When I clarify this Queen of Cups, I get the 10 of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups again. So when I shuffled, these first 2 cards came out and I saw, okay, already I got 2 queens on the table. And then I get another queen here, which just happens to match the one I'm clarifying. And then I flip the deck over and there's a 3rd queen on the bottom. So we got too many queens already. That's a little weird to me. This 10 of Wands is Sagittarius energy. This represents a heavy burden that's being carried. It's something that's weighing you down and holding you back. Now, the positive side of this is it's a 10. And in tarot, 10s represent completion. So this is supposed to be the spot where you lay this burden down and move forward without it. But we got that burden sitting right beside Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is Capricorn energy. Most of the time, this is like a stable, abundant, prosperous, feminine energy. This can represent, you know, like a woman who has their finances in order, who has their material assets in order. Sometimes this represents a person who's like higher up in a company. But most of the time for me, this represents wife type of an energy. It's not necessarily always legally married wife. Sometimes this can be stable, committed girlfriend. Sometimes this can be fiance. This could be the woman that I live with or that I'm trying to build a life around. I have burden attached to what would be like a wife type of an energy here. And it's sitting directly below this Cancer energy of someone that has a lot of emotions involved here. And then I got Queen of Cups again. So anytime I'm clarifying a card and I get that same card in the clarifiers, that's just extra confirmation that we got somebody who has a lot of love here. And you can see in this card what I was talking about with the lid on top of the cup. So I don't know here if this is 2 different elements of you and you're burdened by being like the centerpiece that this person is trying to build a life around, or because this energy affects both of you, if maybe this person feels some sort of a burden of having a person that I'm building a life around. Either way, I've got 3 different queens already here, and a lot of forward movement, a lot of passion and desire, and apparently you seeing the truth. Now, this is discernment, so this is supposed to be the ability to tell truth from false and make decisions based on your ability to see that. It's also about facing truth and speaking truth and making decisions to cut someone away. So that's the shared energy affecting you both. I will come back to that as I go through your energy, because then I'll be able to see how that applies to you. I'll come back to it again when I go through your person's energy for that same reason. For you, the first card is the most important. You get the Hanged Man. Central to your energy is the Magician. And your final card is the Eight of Wands again. So that's twice we've seen that card already. The Hanged Man, this is Pisces energy. This is progress being halted, no forward movement happening. Things are stuck. They're at a full stop, a dead standstill. The Hanged Man hangs upside down because he's trying to look at things from a different point of view than he normally would, a different perspective than he would normally look at things from. We usually do that when everything we've tried so far hasn't worked. So now I'm trying to look at it a different way. I'm trying to figure out what has this stuck. What do I need to do to get unstuck? The Hanged Man is looking at things from a different point of view. It's a very similar energy to the Hermit in the sense that at the core of what the cards are about, they're both really about trying to figure out what to do moving forward from here. The difference is in where they place their focus. The Hermit looks inside of himself for what adjustments do I make about me so things can move forward. And the Hanged Man is looking at things which are external to us. So this is looking outside of myself for what out here is to blame, what out here has me stuck, what out here do I need to make adjustments to get unstuck. Now, sometimes this can represent that the problem isn't you, it's external to you. Maybe it's your person. Maybe we've got some other person involved that probably shouldn't be. Sometimes, though, this is a person who's not looking at their own role in the situation. So take that however that applies to you. This can be like helpless victim mentality. It can be like playing the blame game mentality. More often than not, this first card, even though it's in your energy and it's the most important spot for you, more often than not, it ends up being stuff from your person showing up over here because whatever they have going on is affecting you so strongly. So first, this is saying this whole situation is stuck. And second, it's we got something external going on, or focus is being placed externally. So tell me more about the Hanged Man. Why is that the first card? Thank you. Below the surface of this Hanged Man, Eight of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy of work. Putting in the work, time, effort, and energy on something in order to get what I want. Or at the least, being willing to put the work in. I'm trying to put the work in on this, but it's stuck, it's not moving, it's not progressing. This can represent literal work, but it's feeling more like you trying to put effort in on something. And the burden here is probably that it's not moving. Below the surface of this Eight of Pentacles, we're going backwards a step to the Seven of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. This is a period of time. Now, sometimes this is a period of time where the seeds have already been planted on something and I'm waiting for it to fully develop and fully mature and ripen so I can harvest it and get the rewards out of it, get the rewards from the work that I'm putting in. And this would represent that lag time where, if you think about if you go plant an apple seed right now, you're not going to wake up tomorrow with apples. Like there's that big gap between when you plant the seed to when you can harvest something from it. And that can represent that gap. This could indicate a period of time has gone by and I'm still waiting on something. I've been putting the work in on it and I'm still waiting. This is really about taking a look at where you're investing your time, your effort, and your energy. And it's about trying to decide, is this ever going to grow into the 10 of Pentacles that I really want? Maximum stability, abundance, prosperity, combining lives together, building a life together. Is this ever going to turn into that? Or is this a spot where maybe it's never going to pan out the way I want, and maybe it's time for me to cut my losses and move on? So it can be the period of time where those things are being contemplated. We're going backwards in the physical sense. We're not making progress there. It's like going the opposite way. I've got death right below that, and this is Scorpio major arcana energy. This is an ending to something. This is something dying, so it can be reborn again in a different way. There's almost always a painful transition period following the ending, or a painful transformation that takes place following the ending. And when I've got the 7 of Pentacles with that, that's probably a period of time where things have not been very well here. When I clarify this Hanged Man, I get the 4 of Pentacles, the World, the 6 of Pentacles, and Judgment. So we're going backwards again. 8, 7, 6. We've got 4 here. This 4 of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. This is holding on tightly to something and not wanting to let go of it. I'm putting all this work in. I've been doing that amount of effort for a while. This is dead. This is stuck. It's not making progress, and I still want to hold on to it. The thing that's popping into my mind is sunk cost fallacy. You know, where you've already invested so much time and effort and energy into this, it feels like I can't give up on it now. What if it's that far away and I give up too soon? So like, I used to play a lot of poker, like online back before, when it was still okay to do that, and I was considering going pro for a while, and you would see that type of a mentality happen a lot there, where people would come to the table and they would lose all of their money. And instead of stopping like they should, they would go back and get more money and come back and try to win their money back. And then after they'd spent hours of doing that and they've lost their money 3 or 4 times, they're coming back with more. And that's the sunk cost fallacy. I've already invested so much in this, I can't stop now. And usually what that does is it's not helpful. Usually that causes you to lose even harder. That might be part of the burden that I'm seeing here. That might be part of what's stuck. I'm looking externally at this person. I don't want to let go of them. I want to continue to put the work in. But the problem with that is that's got to be two-sided. You can't be the only one putting in the work and effort. They have to return that. I'm not far enough along yet to see if they are. Next, I've got the World, which is the final card of the major arcana. In terms of zodiac signs, it's the 4 fixed signs: Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. This card represents completions. This is the end of a cycle, and at the same time, the beginning of the next cycle. I want to hold on to something even though it's come to an end, even though it's stuck, even though it's dead, because we've put so much effort into this already. Next, I've got the 6 of Pentacles, more Taurus energy. This is supposed to be generosity. It's supposed to be reciprocity. It's supposed to be like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. We're in this together. We take care of each other, equal give and take. The other meaning to this card is the Merchant here is giving to 2 people in the physical sense, and one of them's kind of behind his back. I've got 2 different queens laying out here in the shared energy. Some heavy burden here. A cycle has ended. And, you know, sometimes when the cycle ends and it's the beginning of the next cycle, we don't want it to be a brand new cycle. Sometimes we want to go for another lap. We don't want to let go of something and see if we can go again and rebalance this out. But then we've got Judgment as the final clarifier for the Hanged Man. This is the most powerful decision card in the deck. This is about passing a final verdict and judgment on something. In a relationship reading, this is either A, we're calling it dead and over and there is no coming back from that, or B, this is about resurrecting it and trying to bring it back to life, call it back from the grave, bring it back from the dead. Try to balance it out and go for another lap because I don't want to let go. That's what it's looking like so far. Central for your energy, we got the Magician. This is the master manifester of the tarot deck. This is a person whose thoughts and actions create the world around them to be the way their will wants it to be. He's got all four aces in front of him, and the aces are the ones of the four suits, the four wands, 1111, which is about manifesting. So this is talking about either you have the ability to create this the way your will desires it to be, or more often than not, what this card is talking to me about is the person whose thoughts and actions have shaped this situation that I'm reading about here. So let's see what's going on with that Magician, please. Why is that the central energy here? Make sure nothing else flipped. Okay. Below the surface of that Magician, we have the Tower. So that answers my question. You're not actively trying to manifest the destruction of something important in your life. Someone else's thoughts and actions have shaped this situation, and that's led to the collapse of something important in your life. This is a foundation rocking event. It all comes crashing down all around you. Now, sometimes this will represent the collapse of the relationship itself. Sometimes this will represent the collapse of a belief system that you have, like this mental model of the world that you've been operating from, where I want this to work out. I want this to get balanced. I want to be the centerpiece of the home and the family that they're building their life around. I want to pour all my love into them. And maybe something now has happened to collapse that belief system. I did see death. I've seen judgment here. Something is ended. There's the world. The only question is this you still holding on to it with this Four of Pentacles, or is this representing greed and selfishness from your person? I'm not quite sure yet. Yeah, below the surface of that Tower, we've got the Three of Swords. This is Libra energy. This is heartbreak and sadness, usually from a third energy. Now, the third energy is not always a romantic third party, although it definitely can be that. I do have more than one queen out here. I've got 3 queens on the table. I had that Queen of Swords on the bottom. So it could be we got another person involved that shouldn't be. This can be any number of things, though. It could be working too much. It could be geographic distance. It could be an addiction. It could be nosy people sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, going to school, partying too much, like any number of things. So if you're asking the question in your mind, well, I wonder if it could be, fill in the blank. If you're asking the question, it could be that, yes. But we got something that's not directly you, that's not directly them, behind the scenes of the collapse of everything here. And then I got another queen again back here, this Libra energy of the Queen of Swords. She who knows the truth, discernment, facing the truth, speaking the truth, cutting off the thing or the person that isn't in your best interest anymore. And it looks like that would be them because they have created this situation. I'm positive it's them based on their first card. I'm not getting ahead of myself today. I do that way too much. Just hang with me. We'll get there. When I clarify the Magician, I get the Page of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Hermit, and the King of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Pages are messengers. Wands are about passion and desire. So this is news and messages and communications about passion and desire, expressing interest. It's also someone who has the willingness to take the very first steps down a brand new path towards something there's passion and desire for. I've got that holding on to it energy right there, but even the way it's laid on the table, there's you in the background holding on, and there's them going the opposite direction. Probably going down a new path that they shouldn't be going down. Next clarifier for that Magician is the Two of Wands. This is Aries energy. This is a fork in the road. It's a crossroads in this relationship. It's probably a crossroads in your life. This is a decision point for you. And it's a decision about, what do I want my world to be like? What do I want for my life? And which of these two paths is going to get me to that? But it's not just as simple as which path do I go down, because you can't go down 2 different paths at the same time. So it's also a choice about what path am I going to leave behind. It's also a wand energy, so this is a choice, probably desire related. I've got someone here who has gone down, taken the first steps down a brand new path. So that looks like, even though it's showing up in your energy, it looks like a reflection of what they're doing affecting you, showing up in your energy because of that. I've got that world next to it. That's the ending. What do I want my world to be like? You can see he's got the world in his hand, and there's the ending of the cycle, beginning of the next cycle, taking the first steps down a new path. This Six of Pentacles in that first column is looking more and more like someone giving to two people. Next clarifier for the Magician is the Hermit. This is Virgo's major arcana card. I referenced that a few minutes ago when I was telling you about the Hanged Man. Very similar energies in that they're both trying to figure out what to do moving forward. The key difference is in the focus. Where is the focus placed? This Hermit is an energy of withdrawal, isolation. Usually it can represent communication shutting down. This is about being forced to go inside myself and do some soul searching, some deep inner reflection, some deep contemplation. It's about, like I said, trying to look inside of me for what adjustments do I need to make so things can move forward the right way. That's sitting right beside this idea of balancing things out. What this is looking like already to me is that this person has done stuff that they're not supposed to do. And it's caused everything to get hung up here. It's caused it all to get stuck. It's caused a big burden here. They've probably brought someone else. It's caused the collapse of this important thing. It's caused judgment and ending to happen. I saw death a little bit ago. This is looking like they caused a bunch of stuff. And because you have all this love and emotions for them and either currently are building a life together with them or probably believed you were going down that sort of a path, it's almost like you don't want to let go of it because of the work and effort you've put in. You're probably looking at you for what can I do to balance this out. But again, it's not just a simple matter of you being able to do all of the work. This is supposed to be equal give and take. They have to contribute equally with you. And if they're not doing that, that's a good reason why it's stuck, and that would be a good reason why you're carrying the burden. You're carrying all of their dead weight because they're not contributing the same way that you are. Final clarifier for the Magician is the King of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. This is usually a husband type of an energy. It's the counterpart to this Queen of Pentacles that's out here in the shared energy clarifiers. That would be husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, fiancés, the people that live together, the people that are building a life together. King and Queen of Pentacles create the 10 of Pentacles, which is combined together life. But there's separation here. There's distance. There's a whole mess of stuff between these two people, in the middle of them, like keeping them apart. Final card for you, 8 of Wands. Sagittarius energy. We saw this earlier in the clarifiers and the shared energy, I believe. This is, again, very fast forward movement or progress on something there's passion and desire for. Could be rapid back and forth passionate communications. I do have the Page of Wands out here. Passionate messages, passionate communications, expressing interest or desire, taking the first steps on something like that. This could be going from taking the first steps to like full blown, like going after it. Like this was like trying to take a drink of water out of a fire hose. It's too much, too fast. It's all at once. It might come out of left field and catch you off guard. Probably feeling really overwhelming. Tell me more about this 8 of Wands, please. Why is that final card? Below the surface of this 8 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. We saw that again. This might be you having a lot of passion and desire and communicating that you want to work on it. It might be that you're overwhelmed because of all the work and effort that you've put in. But then there's that 7 of Pentacles right behind it. It's still going backwards. It's still not panned out the way that you want it to be. And this is either a period of time where that's happened and a period of time where you've been waiting and waiting for the work you do to actually matter and get you somewhere and progress this forward. But again, you can't be the one doing it all. The other thing this could represent is that period of time where now all this stuff has happened and I'm really overwhelmed by it. And now I'm contemplating, do I continue investing my time, effort, and energy into this? Is this ever going to work? Or is it time for me to cut my losses and move on? Like we keep seeing that Queen of Swords. That's what she'll do. She'll cut something away. Yeah, there's death in the background again. You've watched me shuffle this at least 2 or 3 times since the last time we saw these cards. And here they are again, all 3 of them, all in the same order. Death is Scorpio energy, an ending, something dying, some painful transition period or transformation period following the ending. This is one of those things, though, where you typically come out better on the other side of it. Think about a caterpillar. It's like an ugly little worm with hair all over it, and it goes into a cocoon. And when it comes out the other side of that cocoon, it's not an ugly worm anymore. It's a beautiful butterfly. But while it's in that cocoon, it's not having a party. It is not fun and games. It's dying. It's going through a painful transformation, a painful metamorphosis. When it comes out the other side, the caterpillar piece is gone now. It's dead. It's not there anymore. It's something entirely different. And that could be what's happening here. You could be going through the shit right now, really overwhelmed and contemplating everything. But you're going to come out better for it, is what it's looking like. Well, at least you have the ability to come out better for it. It's really going to come down to, where do you place your focus? Are you going to stay stuck on the thing that's external and continue to try to change the external thing that you don't really have any control over? Or are you going to look inside yourself? And that's probably the biggest piece of advice I can give you about watching tarot, especially on YouTube, is most people come into tarot asking the wrong question to begin with. They come into a relationship reading because they're asking questions in their head about the other person. When is he going to act right? When is he going to come back? When is he going to do what he's supposed to? What does the future hold? And all of those are the wrong question. The real questions, to where your focus should be, is on you, not on them. You only have control over you. Where all of your power is inside of you and the adjustments that you make. You can't control them. I don't know if you've ever tried to change a habit, like quit smoking, quit drinking, start exercising, like change your routine. It's freaking hard. It's really hard. And it's you, like trying to change yourself is really hard. Trying to change someone else, especially if they don't want to change, is impossible. You can't do it. You don't have control over them. You might have influence over them, and then again, you might not, because so far this is looking like they're influencing your energy and your thoughts and your behavior much more than you're influencing theirs. When I take a look at the clarifiers for this 8 of Wands, I get the 4 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, Magician. 4 of Wands, this is Aries energy. 4s are stability. This is supposed to be stability of the home life, stability of the family life, stability of the connection between the two of you. Again, the 4 wands represent the 4 wands, 1111, the number of manifesting. This is a celebration of home and family. In the story of manifesting, it begins with the 2 of wands, where I decide what it is that I actually want. And then the next step is the 3 of wands, where I'm taking the actions to try to get the thing that I want. And I fully expect it's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. And I'm kind of waiting on it to show up. This is supposed to be the stage where it shows up and it's stable in physical reality, and I can celebrate the arrival of it. But there's overwhelm attached to this. There's a person who has got the willingness to take the first steps down a brand new path. Like, this is one of those cards, the 4 of Wands is one of those cards that will frequently get referred to as a marriage card. The Hierophant would be another. The 10 of Pentacles would be another. I'm missing both of those. I've got the 2 people that would build the 10 of Pentacles out here, King and Queen of Pentacles. I don't actually have the 10 of Pentacles. I've got stuck energy, Judgment, Death we've seen a couple of times. And now I'm getting to the next clarifier, the 5 of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. 5s are conflict. This is abandonment. This is about being cast aside, being left out in the cold, being discarded, being tossed away, walked away from. This is breakup energy here. So we've got what looks like stable home, stable family life, stable connection. So much happening all at once that it's probably overwhelming and caught you off guard, and now abandonment. And it's sitting right beside the choice about what do you want your life to be like? What do you want for your world? It's almost like you have a choice here. You've got stay in this abandonment, detached, not good enough, left behind kind of a state, or recognize that the cycle has come to an end and it's time to start a different cycle, not do a repeat of this one. I'm getting the feeling that for somebody here, this is like this person's gone and they're watching this reading trying to find out if they're going to come back. First of all, I don't predict the future. I don't do readings about the future. I look at current energy, and sometimes it shows me past energy that has led up to the current energy. The idea of reading the future is a fantasy. It's fiction. I can't tell you what your future is. I can't see what my future is. No tarot reader on planet Earth can tell you what the future is. And you know why? It's because the future isn't written yet. The future hasn't happened yet. It's not like the future is some magical script that's been written and stored in the sky somewhere and somebody can tap into it and tell you what it is. That's absolute fiction and fantasy. Your future is dictated in the moments of your decisions and the actions that you take, or the actions that you stop taking or don't take. Like, you get to determine what your future is, not the tarot cards. No one can read the future for you. I wish I could read the future, because I would just tell myself what the lottery numbers are going to be tonight and I would win the lottery every day. Doesn't work that way. Final card here to clarify this Eight of Wands is the Magician, which we already saw as the central energy here. This is the master manifester, the person whose thoughts and actions have created this whole situation here. Their thoughts and actions have led to abandonment / breakup. And here we are with soul searching going on. Like that's the important thing about the Hermit too. This is not really a voluntary kind of an energy most of the time. We don't just wake up and go, oh, it's nice outside today. I think I'll do some soul searching. It doesn't work that way. Something happens and it forces us to do soul searching. And abandonment can do that. Judgment can do that. We've seen the Tower. It can do that with what I'm seeing here in your person's energy. We'll get to in a second. That can also do it. But we've got somebody here that is in control of making this situation. And that has still probably got you in the spot where I'm looking inside of myself, trying to figure out what can I do to balance this out. And there's nothing that you can do to balance this out, or to balance this person out, or to cause them to act right and have the correct thoughts and the correct actions. There's nothing you can do about that. What you can do is look at yourself and figure out, what is it about me that I need to make adjustments to that can get me to set this burden down instead of refusing to lay it down and want to continue to carry it? What is it about me that tries to get me to keep putting in all of this work and effort, even when I'm still waiting on it to pan out, even though I know it's dead deep down, even though I know it's stuck and it's not moving? What is it about me that's got me holding on to this and doesn't want to let go of it? What is it about me that accepts less than, not good enough treatment instead of the balance that you deserve, instead of the equal give and take that you deserve? This person is supposed to be pouring in every bit as much effort as you are. And from the looks of it, that's not how it's happening here. That's your energy here. Let's take a look at your persons and see what's going on with them. First card is always the most important. Five of Swords is their first card. Central for their energy, Six of Wands. And their final card is the Ace of Swords. Now, before I even get into this, again, the way tarot works, and I know a lot of people have the wrong idea about it simply because of what they see from all of the YouTube tarot readers. And 99.999% of them use it as a tool to see the future, to make fantasy fictional future predictions, because that's what people want to hear. And I understand from the point of view that they're trying to give people what they think they want, but they're not really helping anybody. Most readers and now most viewers think that what tarot is this magical window that I can look through to see into the future, or a magical window that I can look through to spy on another person or see what's going on in their head or their heart and what they're going to do. And that's not what tarot is. It's not a window you look through. It's a mirror that reflects your own energy back to you, so you can see it, so you can recognize it, so you can make adjustments in the way you're thinking, the way you're looking at a situation, the actions that you're taking or not taking. It's a mirror that reflects your stuff back to you, so you can see your patterns, so you can see what's really going on with you, so you can make adjustments to that, because that's where your real power is. So even though we're about to look at your person's energy, this is really, even though it's probably going to tell you some stuff about them and reflect pieces of them back to you, it's also going to reflect some things about you back to yourself. And just reading the surface of this Five of Swords, first, this is Aquarius energy. Fives are conflict. This can be a conflict in words, like a big bitter fight, words being used like weapons, tongues being used like swords, a big fight that leads to things being over. This can be a betrayal. This can be a person who has this winning at all cost mentality. In other words, I'm so focused on me getting what I want. King of Wands is the overall energy. I'm going to get what I want, or I'm going to make a way to get what I want. This can be somebody who's so driven and motivated to get what they want that collateral damage is fine to them. If you happen to get hurt in the process, well, sorry about your luck. I'm taking care of myself and I'm going to get what I want. At its core, this card is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event, whether that's talking about the way the person treats you, whether that's talking about a betrayal happening or a big fight happening. There's pain involved here. The next card is about recognizing that. And the final card is about the truth of it and the severing of it. So again, even though we're about to look at their energy, this is going to reflect something of you back to yourself. So let's take a look at the clarifiers here for this Five of Swords. Why is that the first card in that person's energy, please? Okay. Below the surface of that Five of Swords, Three of Swords, Libra energy, heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. This is looking an awful lot to me like betrayal. This is looking an awful lot to me like we got two different queens in the picture. One of them's you and one of them is not you. And we got heartbreak and sadness behind the scenes of this betrayal, which makes perfect sense. Yeah. Below the surface of that third energy that's causing the heartbreak and sadness, I get the Ace of Wands, the phallic symbol of the deck. This is a passionate new beginning and passion and desire, the spark of some new passionate thing. Phallic symbol, the male you-know-what, using it to do you-know-what, sexual energy. This King of Wands is looking right at me still, the pinnacle of that wand suit. This is the person who makes their decisions not based on their heart or not based on their thoughts, but based on their wand and their desire. That's where the betrayal comes from. When I clarify that Five of Wands, I get the Knight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. This is very slow, monotonous forward movement. It's usually really frustrating, make me want to pull my hair out kind of an energy. It usually indicates that you've wanted something from them, like with a lot of speed behind it, and instead of getting the speed that you're looking for, you're getting the slow drip. This is like watching duck shit roll uphill. Takes forever because it feels like nothing's moving. When you're going through that, it's really hard to tell the difference between that and the Hanged Man. And I think you might have them confused the opposite direction. This is literally stuck for you and it isn't moving forward. And this might be thinking that, okay, well, they betrayed me, but maybe we can make slow progress. Maybe we can balance this out. Maybe we can keep putting that work in on it. And if I wait long enough and put in enough work myself, maybe they will start to act right. The other thing the Knight of Pentacles can represent is it's a person who knows what they're supposed to do. They just don't do it for some reason. He's got the Ace of Pentacles in his hand. That's the seed of abundance. But in the background, the fields are completely empty because he hasn't gotten off his butt and planted the seed. He knows he has it. He's holding it. He's looking at it. He knows what he's supposed to do with it. He just hasn't done it. It can also represent the opposite of that. It can represent a person who knows full well what they're not supposed to do, but they do it anyway. I know I'm not supposed to betray you if I'm in a relationship with you. I know I'm not supposed to break your heart. I know I'm not supposed to let my wand run the show and cause tower moments. There's the tower again. I know I'm not supposed to juggle two people with this Two of Pentacles here. But I do that anyway because what I want is more important. That's probably what's going on here. I told you at the very beginning with this Hanged Man that this is someone who has this external focus. It's someone who isn't looking at their role in the situation. They're not accepting responsibility for their spot in it. And they're looking outside of themselves. It's not my fault that I betrayed you. And then I've also got that Four of Pentacles with it. And I told you at the beginning, this is either you holding on to it or it's your person being greedy and stingy and selfish and everything's mine and it's all about me. There's no rule that says it has to be A or B. It could actually be both of those things at the same time, and it's just two different layers to the story here. But your person knows full well what they're supposed to do and not supposed to do, and they don't do that. Next clarifier for that Five of Swords is the Nine of Pentacles. This is more Virgo energy. This is a step backwards from that Ten of Pentacles that we keep referencing. It's not out here. I haven't seen it. I've got the two people that would create it. This is a step backwards from that combined together life. And this is being independent physically, self-sufficient, physically single. And I don't think for a second this person actually was physically single. They were clearly together with you, or I wouldn't have King and Queen of Pentacles here. I wouldn't have betrayal here. You can't betray somebody that you're not with. You can't bring a third energy in and follow the wand if you're not with someone. So a lot of times when I get this card, it's not really a person who legitimately is single as much as it's a person who tries to present themselves in the physical world as if they are single, which is another thing they know they're not supposed to do. It's sitting directly across the aisle from that Five of Pentacles in your side, the abandonment. Final clarifier for that Five of Swords is the Ten of Swords. This is Gemini energy. So I told you the Five of Swords can represent betrayal, and so can the Ten of Swords. This is a swift, painful ending. It's an ending that you didn't see coming, which I probably told you again when I saw this overwhelming, too much happening too fast, probably caught you off guard kind of energy. The reason the swords are in this dude's back is because he didn't see it coming. If he saw it coming, they'd be in his front. It's also a reference to betrayal, hence getting stabbed in the back. But no matter how you slice this energy, it's an ending. Something is over with. This dude is not going to the hospital, getting a couple of stitches and coming back tomorrow. It's done. It's over. Which is why we've seen death several times. It's why we've got judgment sitting out here in the first column. If you're mistaken that this is stuck and I want to hold on to it until we can, end the shitty cycle of the way it's been and start this new cycle where it's all balanced and everything's peaches and cream, that's not how this is working. This is much more about, instead of looking at the idealized thing that you want it to be, instead of looking at it for how you want it to be, you have to look at the actual behavior that the person is showing you. Because there's a lot more truth to the behavior than the future projection that you've created in your mind. Central for their energies, the Six of Wands, this is Leo energy. This is an energy of recognition. Now, sometimes this can be them getting recognized for something, like getting the spotlight shined on them, getting, recognized for doing a good job on something. More often than not, this is about coming to some sort of a recognition. Now, it could be that they got recognized for betrayal and acting single when they weren't and having a third energy involved, and they got recognized for making decisions with their wand because they've got all their happiness tied to that kind of an energy. Could be that. Could also be some element of you coming to some sort of a real recognition about them and about this situation. Let's see what's going on with this Six of Wands, please. Okay, we're taking extra ones, it would appear. Yeah. Below the surface of this recognition, Seven of Pentacles, Taurus energy, is that period of time where you've been waiting on them. Period of time where you've been waiting on this thing that you've planted the seeds on with them to actually pan out. But this is also a period of time where you've probably been contemplating, is this ever going to work, or should I cut my losses and move on? So I hope that that's what you're recognizing from this. And if you recognize that, you can actually move forward successfully. Doesn't mean you can move forward successfully with them, because you aren't in control of that. They are. But hopefully this means you can recognize where your work and your effort and your time and your energy is going to be better placed, and put it towards something that lets you create the type of life that you want and that you deserve. I think that's what you're supposed to be looking at about yourself, instead of looking at them for what are they going to do. When I clarify this Six of Wands, I get the Six of Wands from the other deck. Six of Swords, Ace of Swords, the Chariot, and Justice. Six of Wands, I just told you, recognition. Successful forward movement happens after you recognize something. For them, they're probably getting recognized for doing stuff that they know they're not supposed to do, getting recognized for the fact that all the stuff that they were supposed to do, they haven't done that either. And even up here in the main cards, they're getting recognized for betrayal. They're getting recognized for winning at all costs, taking care of myself over you. What I want's more important than what you want. It's probably recognizing them for the amount of pain that they cause. Next, I get the Six of Swords, Aquarius energy. This is moving forward into calmer waters. It's about leaving these rough, choppy waters of the past behind and moving forward into calmer waters. Clarity, moving forward toward what they want. Now, the woman and the child in the boat with all these swords stuck in it can represent that moving forward with burdens that are being carried, which I do have the Ten of Wands out here, the heavy burden that's weighing it all down, holding it all back out here in the shared energy. That heavy burden is that there's two feminine energies involved. Also, the heavy burden might be the fact that you've built a life with them, or imagined going down that kind of a path. It could even be all the emotions that you have. The real power in this card, it's about moving away from the Five of Swords. It's the Six. So the Five has already happened. And here we've got the Five in the previous column, the painful situation or event, the betrayal. This is about moving forward, leaving that painful thing behind, and moving away from the pain and forward toward what you want. The real question here is, like, you have a choice to make. It's an implied choice. No one's going to show up and knock at your door and inform you of this. You just kind of have to know. And time is moving forward no matter what we do. Like, we can't stop it. And this is about, as I move forward into the future, do I carry the burdens that this painful thing has caused forward into my future with me, so it continues to weigh me down and continues to hold me back and continues to keep me in pain? Or Am I going to carry forward with me the lesson that that painful thing taught me so something like this doesn't ever happen again? I think that's the thing that you're supposed to be recognizing. I think for them, they probably have gotten recognized for all the crap that they've done and the fact that they're leaving it behind and they're moving on. Next, I get the Ace of Swords, which is the final card for them. We'll clarify in just a second. This is the sword of truth. It's the sword of clarity. It's the sword you make decisions with. It's even the sword that you sever a connection with. So I got them leaving something behind, maybe severing the connection. I've got either the truth of the matter is they stabbed you in the back and betrayed you, and the truth of the matter is this is over, or this is the sword they used to sever the connection. Next, I get the Chariot. This is the Cancer Major Arcana card. This is the fastest moving energy in the deck. Very fast forward movement. It's even faster than this Eight of Wands that's out here. At its core, this card is about overcoming the problems and the obstacles and the stuff that's in the way through willpower alone. He's got no reins to control this thing. And you see a black sphinx and a white sphinx, and that represents like an internal conflict. The black sphinx is the shadow side, and the white sphinx is the light side. We all have both of those pieces. And without the reins to control this and steer it, he's got to use willpower alone, which means if both parts of myself aren't pulling in the same direction, this is every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man and it won't go anywhere. Or worse yet, if I try to move forward with two pieces of me pulling different directions, this could tear itself in half as it moves forward. So there's the idea here of overcoming the obstacle and the problem, but then there's also the mismatch between the shadow element and the light element not pulling in the same direction. That probably means the two of you aren't pulling in the same direction. It also probably means this shadow piece of himself pulls them in a different direction than what they should be going in. This is also sometimes, because it's the fastest energy, sometimes this is just get the hell out of Dodge kind of an energy here. And I've got successful forward movement with the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands again, forward movement, Six of Swords, leaving it behind, moving forward. The sword I would sever this with, sitting right beside the swift, painful ending, the ending in betrayal, the ending you didn't see coming, and boom, bat out of hell, getting out of Dodge kind of energy. Final clarifier is this Justice card, the Libra Major Arcana card. This is the most powerful card of balance in the deck. It's about doing the right, fair, just thing. The sword in the card is that Ace of Swords, and here it's supposed to be used to cut away something that's not in balance, so balance can be restored and then the right, fair, just thing can happen. This card shows up to point out the fact that something unfair or unjust or unbalanced is going on, and this points out that fact and the need to correct it. But this person is the one that is in control of whether that obstacle gets overcome or not, and I don't think for a second that that's where their focus is at. Final card for them is that Ace of Swords again, sword of truth, sword of clarity, sword you use to cut something out of your life with. Tell me more about this Ace of Swords, please. Where did you go? Yeah, I don't think that's what they're doing. They're not balancing jackbow shit out, it doesn't appear. Below the surface of that, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, there's the truth of the matter. It's a Two of Pentacles. Capricorn energy. Twos are choices, and Pentacles are about physical, tangible things. So this is a choice between these two options that I have, two physical things, and I can't have both of them. I have to pick this one or that one. Do I or don't I? Should I or shouldn't I? It's an energy of balance, but it's more about trying to maintain balance or get balance back once it's been thrown off. This is also sometimes an energy of someone who is juggling two different people. And which one of them do I want? Which one do I want? That could be part of the burden that they're carrying here. Below the surface of that Two of Pentacles is the two of the major arcana. So notice the choices are starting to hit us here. The choices are on their side. Your choice is the choice about what do you want your life to be like. And their choice is, which one of these two chicks do I want? The High Priestess is the intuition. She represents the unconscious mind, the intuition, the inner knowing, the gut feelings. This is when you know something because you can feel it, not because you saw it with your own eyes, not because you have facts to support it, because you have a gut feeling about it, because your unconscious mind has picked up some sort of a pattern faster than your conscious mind can put words to it. This is where I know because I can feel it. This is telling me that your intuition has probably clued you in some time ago that two people are involved here. Two feminine energies are involved here. The problem with the intuition is it's really hard for most of us to listen to it, because most of the time it's going to tell you stuff you don't want to hear. It's going to tell you stuff you don't want to be true. And without having facts to support it, it's hard to listen to it. It's much easier to just sweep that shit under the rug and like, no, it can't be that. Everything's fine. I've invested so much into this. They can't be doing that. But your intuition is telling you something. Your mind, your unconscious mind, has recognized some sort of a truth about them. Yeah, Three of Swords right behind it. Heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. When I clarify the Ace of Swords, I get the Seven of Wands, the Four of Swords, and the Empress. Seven of Wands is Leo energy. This is a defensive energy. This is them defending their position, defending their stance, defending against the truth. This is them being willing to fight to protect something that's important to them, something that they have desire for. And notice the way it's laid on the table right beside the Six of Wands. I kept seeing Eight of Pentacles going backwards to the Seven of Pentacles for you. And now I'm seeing Six of Wands progressing forward to the Seven of Wands. Passion and desire escalating. Now I'm willing to fight for something here. Then I get the Four of Swords, which is Libra energy. We've seen this a few times. This is that stable thoughts, stable mind, trying to calm my mind down, trying to figure out what to do about defending myself. This could even be defending against accusations, trying to figure out how to defend against your accusations, trying to defend against the truth, trying to figure out which one of these two do I want. It's also sitting right beside Six of Swords, trying to figure out how to leave this behind so I can move forward toward what I do want, so I can become single, or at least continue to act like I'm single, as they probably were already doing that by the looks of it. Final clarifier for this Ace of Swords, the Empress. So they're also trying to figure out what to do with this. And this is the mother of the tarot deck. She's always pregnant. She's always giving birth to something. In a relationship reading, she represents the birth of something new, usually the birth of a new connection. Trying to figure out what to do with this new connection. It's in the column that is headed off by the Ace of Swords, the sword that I would use to cut this away. And it's sitting right beside the Ace of Swords from the other deck. This new connection is where they're going to go. And in that same row, Ten of Swords, swift, painful ending, ending you didn't see coming, ending in betrayal. This person's thoughts and actions have shaped this situation. And I know this probably isn't what you wanted to hear, but I've got to give it to you straight. Otherwise, I'm just helping you stay stuck in a false hope loop or a dependency loop. And that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to get you the truth that you need so you can make the decisions to take the actions that are in your own best interest, or sometimes to stop taking the actions that aren't in your own best interest. I think that's why we saw Queen of Swords a few times in here. Discernment, being able to tell the difference between truth and falsehood, between what I want it to be versus what their behavior is actually showing me. And I think you've got a decision to make here. Your very central energy is the choice about, what do I want my life to be like? This is a crossroads. It's a fork in the road. It's a decision point. What do you want your life to be like? And you're being asked to look inside yourself, to take a look at that, to take a look at what has kept me in a situation like this, what caused me to be attracted to someone like this to begin with. And once I started seeing the evidence, the facts, the truth, once I could see, why didn't I listen to my intuition? Why didn't I listen to my gut feelings? Because I knew something was wrong. This is asking you to take a look at that, because those are the things where your power lies. That's where you can make adjustments to improve how your life goes from here on out, so that you can get what you want.